Okay, hey guys, Dr. Emmett Blahnik, thanks for joining us. I'm your virtual health expert, and I'm here to help you get to the next level with your health, happiness, hormones, and lifestyle. Today's topic is about really weight management. What we're going to be going through is our 15 to 50 pound 5-week weight loss challenge. I'll be your host, and I'll be guiding you through this process. I'm a board certified weight management specialist, board certified in nutritional counseling, and a unique certification specifically to obesity professional education. So a specialist in obesity professional education from the World Federation of Obesity. And so I've been in practice for over 14 years, I believe, something like that, 14, 15 years, something to that effect. But, really dialing in nutrition and weight management for many, many years beyond that. One of the reasons that I brought this to my clinic was actually because I was seeing many, many patients with severe conditions. So our clinic's been voted one of the best spinal clinics in the Rockford, Illinois area, as well as Madison, Wisconsin. In addition to things that we work with knee joints. So we have a knee spa. But the reason I'm bringing that to your attention is what we had to do is we had to figure out a way to help our patients with bad backs and bad knees. We had to figure out a way to help them because most of those patients, they just couldn't go to the gym. So it wasn't like we're, us or the personal trainer was going to throw somebody on a treadmill when they were morbidly obese or they had knees that were bone on bone. So essentially we had to figure out a program to help them despite the fact that they might not have been able to go out and exercise. And so part of what we're going to go through is show you how you can do that. And yes, you can. The other thing that I'm going to show you, if you hang on to the end, I'm going to be giving you a gift by the end of this because I know it does take some focus and attention to tune into this. But the reality is you can get to where you want to be, and it doesn't mean that you have to go pound at the gym. You don't have to take a bunch of shots like B12 shots and those various types of things. You can do things safely and effectively, and we're going to start to show you how, okay? So first thing is we want to do is start to define some things. We're going to be initially jump-starting your metabolism. So as we walk you through our day by day, the first step in our daily journal and guide is, besides the getting started, is to jumpstart, reset, and retrain your metabolism. So I'm going to be using a few words. So this is part of the daily guide. I'll spell it out for you. Day 1, day 2, here's what you eat. But the reality is jumpstarting your metabolism, retraining it, and then maintaining it. But for many people, we just got to get it turned on again. I use this word ketobolism, ketobolism. And what I mean by that is, you ever hear somebody use the word like fat burning or ketosis, not ketoacidosis, which can be negative. What we want to do is we want to get your body into that state of burning fat for fuel. And so it's off of your body. We want to tap into the fat, okay? And so that is what we refer to when we say fat burning. We use kind of some of those cliches. That's what we refer to as ketosis, okay? So we want to get your metabolism into a place where you're in ketosis. You're actually now tapping into fat for fuel. And I'm going to show you some unique methods. Again, you don't have to hit the gym to do this. I'm going to get you into that beautiful arena of ketosis. Well, who would this be for beyond just those people that are in pain, spinal conditions, knee conditions, ankle conditions, you can't go work out? Well, these are the types of things that worked well for people at any age. So the reason I bring up Mary for you, this is a picture of Mary as well as Tim. I actually just saw Tim. He literally was just in my clinic, in my office for a checkup here. We tried to get him on, but he had to bail. But Tim, over the age of 62, has lost over 60 pounds. Importance to Mary is, if you just look at Mary, she's over 72 and she's lost over 85 pounds. And an important piece of that is, listen, I see a lot of people, over the age of 40 and 50 really thinking they don't have much control anymore over their weight or their health. And I'm here to let you know, if you need help and resources, you can do it. It doesn't have to be exhausting. It doesn't have to include a bunch of pills and shots and those types of things. If Mary can do it, if Tim can do it, there are people just like you that have walked in here, then we could probably help you too. But age shouldn't be a factor, because we have literally, what I believe, we have, because of our system, we have unlocked, we've cracked the code on your metabolism, your weight loss. So again, that means we're going to be dropping the excess fat, adipose, and you're going to be burning it for fuel, which means you're going to get more energy. So that's the irony in all of this. We don't like to guess. We actually can use very specific technologies that we use, our next level biointelligence scan. And that's going to help us determine the things that are necessary for your body, which is going to be different than the next person's body. So you may see similar things out there, but the reality is there's nothing as quite unique as your own individual body. And we're going to determine exactly what it's going to need to get you into that beautiful state of ketosis, or bumping up, jumpstarting your ketobolism. So if you get into that place, and you might have heard people get into that place of ketosis or fat burning, it's really effortless at that point. We see people losing on average half a pound, literally up to 4 pounds a day. And that might seem a little bit crazy because this is 5 pounds. I don't know if you can see that. That's 5 pounds of fat right there. And it's just sitting right here on your thighs or on your saddlebags or on your bum, wherever it may be shaking around. But reality is, if you tap into the fat, you can start burning it just the same at any age, just like Tim, just like Mary, and hundreds of others. But first, what you're going to need to do is you're literally going to need to be careful and open up your mind, because you probably think you've already seen and done it all. It's very common. I've tried that and I've tried this. You're going to have to kind of let go of some of the misinformation, the propaganda, the bad research, the fad diets out there. Our unique system is pretty important, but the whole goal is to get you to be burning fat, not dropping water weight, but burning fat for fuel. And we can use specific technologies to help determine what is necessary for your body to do that. We can use customized signature solutions, one of those being our proprietary metabolic formula. Metabolic meaning your metabolism. Specifically, once we figure out what your body needs, we're going to be customizing signature solutions, whether it's G zone for glucose and blood sugar. We'll be able to figure out a way to get you into that fat burning zone. We will have a very specific tailored eating plan or food plan for you. So before we go any further, I kind of am just going to address one thing, like, well, what would I be able to eat? Well, let me ask you this. Can you eat real food? Not fake food, but real food. And then begin to ask yourself the question, what is a real food? Your proteins, your meats, your vegetables, your fruits, nuts, beans, and seeds. If it's real, you can probably eat it. You don't have to go buy some prepackaged food somewhere or order it online. You'll be going to your grocery store, filling up your grocery cart with things that you probably already eat anyway. And we're going to start to putting into a way that you can, it'll make sense. It'll be easy. It'll be day by day. You're going to be picking from what goes into your cart: 2 to 3 meats, 3 to 4 vegetables, fruits, nuts, beans, and seeds, some hydration along the way, so we can get you into that sweet spot of fat burning. And you'll get our support. So not just, it's similar like this. You can actually have virtual support where we'll be engaging personally with you. That's part of the program, that you'll have individual customized support. It doesn't end here. It really just starts here. We'll be giving you recipes and everything to guide you through, but we have a complete system that's literally dialed in to help you burn fat for fuel, despite the fact that you might not be able to get out there and exercise. So stay with me, you folks. Step number 1, as we begin to jumpstart your ketobolism, is we got to kind of figure out where you're at. Okay, so what we'll do, and you can, if we're going to be doing this with you virtually, and some of you will be doing this virtually, not in the clinic. So kind of have two categories. I would think of it like this for the challenge. We're going to have people that want me to hold their hand, sit down knee to knee and consult with us in clinic. There's a version of that. And then there's one virtually. But what we like to look at clinically is we want to start to understand you're going to get a body composition analysis. And there's various ways to go about that. Most clinics out there, medical clinics, you're going to pay about over $150 to $300 to get a true body composition analysis. Again, hold on to the end, and I'm going to be giving you a gift. Remember, they're usually about over $100 to $300 to get a body composition analysis. But what we're going to be looking for is the composition and makeup. What I don't like is merely BMI. Body mass index is just not a good relative descriptor of what's happening from a health perspective in your body. So just think of like if I had a 6'8" football player that's completely muscle, just stacked and jacked with pure muscle. So he's big and he's wide, but pure muscle. He would have a high BMI, and that means he would be obese. But if he's only like purely muscle, he wouldn't be obese. So there's kind of a misinformation on the whole BMI. Don't hang your hat on BMI. You can get a little bit more in depth with a true body composition analysis. We want to know what your bone weight is. We want to know what your muscle mass is. We want to know how much water is in those muscles. We want to know your percentage of body fat. How much of this yellow stuff, this adipose, is hanging on your hips? Like, we can start to dial in and be very specific. And our technology is able to determine how healthy or sick your metabolism really is. And a lot of people know, I would say over 80% of people that come to see us clinically because they know they need to drop weight for whether it's a health condition, a pain condition, or they just need help in doing it. 80% of the people that come in, 80% of them have a thyroid condition, whether it's been diagnosed or we're the ones to diagnose it, hypo or slow, they've had a surgery, they're taking levothyroxine or some type of synthetic thyroid hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. So essentially, if you're in that camp, just know we can help you. And these are the people we want to help with, so that we can help your metabolism, because we know that your thyroid is struggling. So we're going to be looking in depth, clear at where you're at, and then where do you want to be. So we're going to look a lot closer at the variables that we think are important to gauge how well we're tapping into that fat for fuel. Because if you're only losing water weight, that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make you healthy. In fact, many doctors are telling patients to take hydrochlorothiazide, or HCTZ, which is it's like a water pill, and yet your organs, tissues, cells, and muscles need water. So you're actually depriving your cells of an essential nutrient, H2O, because you're swelling, you have edema in your legs, maybe you have a cardiovascular issue. So just so you know, we'll take all of those things into consideration. We can help you, just like we helped Mary and hundreds and hundreds of others. So stay tuned. First thing to note, we don't want to go any further until we understand this one principle, okay? And I may be the first person to say it to you: food does not make you fat, okay? And I'm going to add to that, not only does food not make you fat, age is not your problem either, as well as sedentary lifestyle is not your issue either. I think those are typically the things we're told, is that, hey, it must be my age, it must be the fact that I'm a couch potato, that's why I'm gaining fat, or it must be those Doritos, the pizza, and the cola. Now, I'm not ignorant, and I don't want you to think I am, but the reality is, if we keep blaming those things, we're going to be right where you're at, where you need help. Okay, so this stuff is not complicated, and I'm going to walk through why I believe food is not your problem. Okay, hunger, the other thing isn't healthy. Again, you don't need expensive pills. You don't need complex prescriptions. This is not complicated until I bring this part up. Let's get yourself oriented to what you're seeing. So the person that is thicker and bigger, that person is struggling. So whether that's you or somebody you know, somebody you care about, maybe you're watching this for them because you've heard of our success. So that person's struggling with their weight, they're fat. Okay. Now, the other person, we all know these people, the person that's kind of just more naturally thin. Here's what I'm talking about when I say food does not make you fat. So let's take that person either that lives with you or it's a friend, it's the person you can't stand, because that person that's that naturally thin and they can just eat whatever the heck they want. I'm talking about all the carbs, all the fast foods, the junk foods, the prepackaged foods. They can eat the Doritos and the snacks. They can have portion sizes out of control. So if I'm asking you, hey, what's the reason that you're gaining weight? You might be saying, well, it's the Coca-Cola I drink every day, or it's the pizza I have too much of, or the snacks at night. And I think we've been blaming, again, decades of misinformation and propaganda. But the reality is, if food made you fat, and this person that that's naturally thin, they're eating all of those things and lots of it, but yet they still maintain that thin waistline. Let me ask you this. Is the food making them thin? No, clearly not. Then why would we think that the food is making us fat then? So if somebody can eat a whole pizza, not just one slice, and still maintain their weight at night, what we know is that their metabolism is working in their favor. And that's what we want for you, that we want to jumpstart, retrain, and maintain that thing that allows you to indulge sometimes. So a lot of times we think, well, it's our age. So let's, again, look at the person that's struggling and look at the person maybe that's naturally thin. We're going to say that that person naturally thin is a lot older. We're going to say like Mary or Tim, they're in their 60s or 70s. Okay, but they're still able to maintain their weight. Now, somebody in their 30s and 40s, that's when they every time I see one of my friends over the age of 40, they're blaming their waistline and gut on how old they are. And I'm like, well, I agree that there's things that happen after the age of 30. So we're trying to address some things with your hypothalamus in your brain. It regulates many hormones, but the reality is we start to decline in many hormone areas of our body after the age of 30. And so we can do some things to help with that and support that, but age doesn't make you fat. In fact, most countries of the world that are not in America, as we age, we tend to get thinner, tighter, and toner. But if you're struggling, there's probably something interfering with your metabolism. We're going to identify that, and we're going to help you correct it. Okay. Various things that go along with your metabolism. We're talking about hormones. We're talking about organs. We're talking about vitamins. We're talking about various toxins. And all of these things play a part in that thing we call metabolism. So if we look then at that person struggling, we're going to say that the person really, really struggling, their eating habits are actually better than that other person. We're going to say that you eat your meats, your vegetables, fruits, you get some hydration, and yeah, you might indulge in some of those other things. So if I'm looking at this with you guys, and hey, if you're watching, you guys, just let us know, interact on your keyboard. I want to know where you're from. I want you to know that I'm live. I'm talking to you real time here. So just type in your keyboard, who you are, maybe where you're from. I want to really help you with your metabolism. And this is where the journey begins, because this is what I know after speaking to hundreds of thousands of patients throughout the years is this. Most people like you, by the time you're ready to actually make an appointment at a clinic, or you're going to do something virtually where you click a button, you actually pay for some program online, what drives you to that point is you're not getting the results you want. You're looking for something better. But what I know is this, at that point, you already know that like McDonald's are bad, right? And you know that like apples are good, or most people do, right? So the reality is French fries bad, and vegetables good. So I don't have to take the time to explain those simple things. You get that by the time you're watching a thing like this. So most people at this point have actually made adjustments in their lifestyles. You are eating better. So let me just do this. Are you eating fair? Are you eating impeccable? So somebody like me that's actually serving the community and teaching. Hey, Rich in Genoa City, Corrine in, where is that? Rio, Wisconsin. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being on, Rich and Corrine. But let's go back to your eating habits. I promise you, you're probably more here, fair. So if it's me or somebody, you know, an elite level athlete, you might be doing impeccable. So you're doing outstanding. You don't eat any like simple carbs, processed food. So you're doing great. Or you're doing fair. And then there's the other people that are just doing horrible. You know it. Most people at the point where you're watching something like this or you're going to move forward, you already know what to eat, what not to eat, but you're not getting results. So majority of you are going to be here. So let me ask you, are you here impeccable, fair, or are you completely poor? Why don't you go give me a heads up? Nobody else is going to see this, you guys. So give me fair, perfect, or poor. How is your eating habits and lifestyle as it relates to your weight management, and your metabolism? Hey, Lisa in Rockford. Hey, Josh in Caprone. Is that right? Caprone. Josh, thanks for tuning in. Are we fair eating habits, perfect, or poor? Majority of you, just so you know, 80% of you are here at fair, which means that's good. You know things you should be doing. You know things that shouldn't be doing, but there's a practicality to it all. So I'm, you know, one to get frustrated when I see like programs out there and the instructor or the program manager or the doctor or the MD, whatever it is, they're talking about wellness, but they're obese. They're morbidly obese. Now, I'm not judging anybody, but if you're teaching those things, there has to be a practicality component, which means you have to be able to do it without extensive effort if it's going to be long-standing and sustaining. We want things to be permanent solutions, not some temporary fix. Anybody can do a diet for a few days. I'm talking about permanent, long-lasting. Who was that? I'm sorry. We got Rich, Corrine, Josh. All right. Well, so everybody's fair. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing is, whether you're eating poor or good, you're the person we're going to say struggling, you're eating your meats, vegetables, but what's happening is that those calories, they're going in here and then they're sitting here as opposed to being burned as fuel. So I'm going to kind of walk you through how this works, okay? Hopefully you can see the screen, and what I put on there is I put on one of those old school fireplaces. My in-laws actually have one of these that heats their home. So I want you to think of your metabolism like that old school furnace, okay? And the energy levels can be high, it can be like medium, it can be low, or it can be off. So think of the person that can eat whatever the heck they want, they just pile it in. Well, if that furnace was on high, think of the logs going in there. If it was on high, it's cranking. The more and more logs I put into that furnace, what happens to the energy or the output? The more and more it burns. Exactly. So what's crazy is sometimes we can create a system where you can eat a lot of food and you actually get more energy and you burn more fat, which is the irony. So again, the furnace, you put more logs in. If it's on high, you're going to produce more energy. You're going to actually physically have more energy. Now, the opposite, though, is if you had your furnace on low or off, just like your metabolism, you know, maybe the thyroid, that hypo or slow thyroid you have, maybe that's killing your metabolism. But if it's on low or slow or off, and I put wood in that fireplace, what would happen to the flames? It's going to smolder it. Okay. And that's the point, is it can put the fire out if you keep putting in the things. So we're not about restricting calories. I don't think that's the answer to this. It's figuring out how to dial in your metabolism, which has to take into components of toxins. If you had a toxin in your body that's ruining your thyroid gland, giving you Hashimoto's thyroiditis or something to that effect, or your adrenal glands are being burned out, or your pancreas is hurting, but you had toxins wreaking havoc on that, what do you think you should do with the toxin? You should detox that. Yeah, eliminate that. So let's just say like a vitamin happened to be too low in your body. What should you do with that? You should supplement with that, right? Maybe you have a mineral in your body that's necessary for your metabolism, One great thing you can do is get multi-minerals, even in the form of like pink sea salt. It's got over 70 to 80 trace minerals, but one of the things is having some mineral deficiencies or excessive minerals can actually damage your metabolism. So it's really a matter of just figuring out where things are at. And we don't like to guess at those things. Here's the bottom line as it relates to your metabolism. And this is kind of the big picture. Again, food does not make you fat. It's your metabolism. So I want you to think of your metabolism. I really like this. Somebody I know actually had an image of this, Jonathan Baylor, but I want you to simply eat real foods, but I want you to picture this sink, okay? So essentially in the sink, when it's working properly, the more water that's going into your sink, into your faucet, essentially the more that goes through it. So you can literally put more water in, you can turn it on high and it's just going to drain through. But the day that I put a clog in your sink, okay, you are hormonally clogged. You have toxic elements in your intestines. So the more toxins and hormone imbalances and various things that are wreaking havoc on your metabolism, that's the thing clogging up the drain. So, hey, Bonnie from South Beloit, thanks for joining us. So let's look at the clog in your pipes here. What's the answer to this? We know that if we keep the faucet running, what's going to happen with the water? It's going to fill up and then it's going to overflow. So you guys are the smart ones, and part of what we want to do is we want to empower you to understand what we know, because it's really effortless. So what's the solution here, you guys? We know it's filling up, so this is where you're literally packing on the fat. This is where it goes from burning fat to packing it on. So is the answer to lower the volume and speed of the water, should we turn off the faucet? Is that the answer? Well, in some respects, yeah. I mean, if it's an emergency crisis situation, you may need to turn off the faucet until we do what? The most important answer, though, is to clean the clog, which means this: the more water that comes in, if we clean that clog, then the more waters that's come out. It's that simple. But if you leave the clog in there, you can do deprivation dieting and calorie restrictions and watch how good you eat as much as you want, but you still have the clog, which means the minute the treadmill stops, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start gaining that weight again. And that's what we've seen, which is why we needed to design something, because it's not just about putting more miles on a treadmill. It's not just about getting more injections with things. It's about cleaning up what's causing the problem, cleaning up your metabolism. So we can eliminate toxins. And what we do know is adipose actually has toxins in there and there's a reason for it. It's actually kind of a protective measure. But if we can eliminate some of these toxins, guess what ends up happening to the fat? I want you to do some of your own homework, okay? I want you to look up obesitogens. That's a funny word. Obesitogens are exactly what they sound like. They're chemicals, toxins in your body that attack your neurological system, neurotoxins, your endocrine system, which is your glands, your thyroid, your adrenals, various glands in your body. So obesitogens are the things that really make you obese. That's why they're coined obesitogens. And what we can do is we can use some very advanced technologies to start to determine for you exactly what the culprit is. We don't want to guess at this stuff anymore. So there's various ways we can go about this. We can do this virtually, where we start to do some intake and we have you answer some questions. So completely virtually, we'll be able to dial that in. It may just take a little bit more time, or we can do it expedited or accelerated, have you come into the clinic and we'll be able to do this. And again, hold on to the end. I'm going to be giving you a gift, but what if we could ask your body what it actually needs to burn more fat? And burning more fat, that word for it, ketosis, okay? Or fat burning. And so we're going to show you how we do that. So the Biointelligence Scan, one of those things that we use, it allows us to follow the organs, look at hormones, neurotransmitters, vitamins, minerals, toxins, heavy metals, parasites, bacteria, viruses, nanobacteria, mycoplasms, candida, biotoxins. But the reality is, no matter what we identify, what we want to do, our goal is to get you healthy again. So this 15 to 50 pound challenge, there's no exercise needed. Okay. If you dial into ketosis, when you get that into that fat burning stage, I'll kind of give you some preliminary to this. It usually takes somebody about 24 hours, 48 hours, up to 72 hours. So usually about 1 to 3 days to get into that state. I want you to picture it like this. I want you to picture getting on a surfboard, no matter how heavy you think you are, and then getting on a wave and riding that wave to shore. So getting on the surfboard, getting into fat burning and ketosis, you may have some hunger, some discomfort, but when you're in it, so the getting into ketosis or fat burning, that's you getting on the surfboard. If you get on the surfboard, you know what you should do? Ride that wave for as long as you can. And that's what it means when you tap into that fat, you get that energy, that feeling where you have more power, but the fat is literally burning off your body for fuel. There's no hunger in that state. Your cravings diminish. You don't need any drugs. You don't need any chemicals, hormones, no shots, no prepackaged foods. The whole goal here is for you to get back to the basics of simply eating real foods. I'll give you a disclaimer here, you guys. Listen, I've had enough patients throughout the years, and I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste ours. I've had enough patients be like, hey, listen, here's what I'm going to need you to do. I'm going to need you to pick the vegetables you like, and I want you to eat those things. Well, I don't eat vegetables. Guess what I have to tell you? Well, then I can't help you. Okay. So we have to do those things to give your body the building blocks to health, because some of those phytochemicals, phytosteroids, plant-based hormonal chemicals in your body, they need some of those vegetables for proper function. And that's an imperative step. So if you can't get back to eating real foods, then we just can't help you. I'm going to give you a couple of insights as to the core four of the metabolism makeover. Here's some essentials. We're going to balance your hormones, your hydration, so H2O, your electrolytes and minerals, your acidity, which is your pH balance. We're going to do, if you need to, again, if we identify toxins, you know what you should do with the toxins? Don't leave them in your system, creating inflammation that leads on to a plethora of other things, gut inflammation and leaky gut syndrome, arthritic joints. But we're going to be addressing things from a nutritional and systemic standpoint to detox your body. We're going to get that metabolism or ketobolism jump started. We're going to retrain it and reset it. And there's various ways we can go about it. First step, again, we're going to get that body composition analysis. We really want to understand what's happening in your body besides just what's looking on the scale. I'm not so interested in the weight. I'm interested in what makes up that weight. How much of it is bone? How much of it is water? How much of it is muscle? How much is it actually fat? And what is your metabolic age? Meaning, how healthy or sick is your metabolism? This is also going to help us. It's going to give you a number. It's going to tell you, hey, my metabolism's working like, so I'm currently, right now, I'm 46 years old. And again, everybody right around my age, we all blame our health conditions on our age. You can be tight, ripped, and toned at any age. And we'll give you examples of that, but we have to begin addressing what's kind of creating some of the problems with that. Where was I going with that? Oh, age. I was 46, but the reality is, you know, whether you're 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, I don't know where I was going with that, but at the end of the day, we can help you with looking at how healthy or sick your metabolism is. What I was trying to say was, at the age of 46, my metabolism is still running as if I'm 26. Okay. But you can see where yours is. We'll help you understand. So that way we can start to chip away and get it to where it should be. We don't, one misunderstanding about metabolism or your thyroid. We don't want a fast thyroid. We don't want a fast metabolism. We want a healthy one. And that's what we're going to get you. We're going to get you back to healthy again. Okay. So moving on, all those factors, we're going to lay it out from day one, step by step. Here's what we want you to eat on these days, which are different maybe from another day. We're going to give you the meats, the vegetables, the proteins, whatever it may take. If you're coming in clinically, it just gives us a bit more dialed in, accelerated version of this. We can dial it in quickly. But what if you could ask your body what it needs to burn more fat? That's what we want to do. We're going to provide you with that supervised. This is a challenge. Okay, we want you to be successful. We want you to be healthy. So we're going to supervise it, and we're going to give you an accountability group. So part of the challenge is you're going to be, hopefully you're online in Facebook or something to that effect. We have groups where you can help each other. You can share recipes and things that are working and not working. We're always going to be part of your journey. But a lot of times, like, people get answers from other people going through the process or have already gone through it, and we want them to help you. So just know you're not alone. Again, this isn't where it ends. This is really just where it starts, but you have to begin asking yourself important questions. One of those questions is, why do you want to do this in the first place? Is it because you procrastinated with your New Year's resolutions? Like, you didn't do it, you thought you were going to do it, you ended up, hey, I want to think about it again, and I want to think about it again. So all that happened in December and January, and here you are right back where you were. So one question we'll be asking you, one of our most important questions is, why do you want to lose weight? And that's where we want to get more serious about it. We want to know the real reasons as to what's going to motivate you to go through this 5-week challenge. I'll tell you this is my why right here. My beautiful wife, Lisa, and my daughter, Everly here. So everything that I do from a health perspective is because of them. So I'm going to make sure in my, late 40s now, somebody told me I'm middle-aged. I'm making decisions more now, less because of things that I like and do, but more because I know that I have a young daughter, a beautiful wife that I need to be healthy and around for. And I'm not just talking about around like in a wheelchair, in a diaper, not being able to move and having no mobility because my knees and ankles hurt, or I'm obese and I can't even, get into the backyard with her. I'm talking about decisions daily, simple decisions, drinking enough water every day. I make those decisions for them and not for me. I kind of think of it like we do our core four. I do it for my own physical body. I want to be physically fit and here for you and giving you the best version of who I am. I'm going to do it for my family. Okay, so I'm going to make better choices and I'm going to make tough decisions for my family. So that's kind of outside of me. I'm doing it for them. I do it for my God as well and my purpose. So you got to figure out what's important for you, but identify some goals. Is it that you want to, here's some just examples of things we hear often, walking your daughter down the aisle. Maybe you want to be at the beach in the summer and you don't want to have, the robe on, or you just want to feel more confident out there in a swimsuit. Maybe it's just fitting in the airplane seat itself, just feeling comfortable in your own skin. This is really a health challenge. It's not a weight challenge. It's a health challenge. And if you feel like you haven't gotten the help you need up to this point, you may not have tried everything. Let us help you. We want to help you get to the next level. Okay. Imagine looking great again, feeling great, better health, better skin, better hair, better libido, better sleep, more energy, feeling sexier again. Like, just think about, like, as we're getting older, we tend to lose some of those things that are important to us. I want to feel sexier again. Maybe that's you. You kept watching this for a reason. And the reason is because you want change, you want help, and you want results. And just think about, what would life be like if you were to do what these people have done. They've lost the 20 pounds, the 30 pounds, the 40 pounds, 50 pounds in 5 weeks. Imagine what that would look like to you if we could get you into that sweet spot, that fat burning zone. Again, it might take you a day to 3 days to get into ketosis or fat burning. Once we jumpstart that catabolism, what I learned is a lot of people, they just need that help getting that first 10 pounds off. And then it goes from there. They get on the surfboard, they ride that wave for 5 weeks. And that's how they're losing that 30, 40, even 50, 60 pounds in 5 weeks, is because they got in that zone. They got on the surfboard, they rode the wave, and they rode it the whole way. They didn't cheat. They didn't knock off, anything like that. How are we going to do that? We're going to use our technology. If you're coming into the clinic, We're going to get some customized signature solutions for your unique body situation, what's going on there. We may need to do a little discovery and investigating what that is. And that's the purpose of a virtual consult. So we'll be doing that individually. We'll be giving you a daily guide, step by step. I mean, it's going to be laid out. You're going to have recipes, what to do, check some boxes, what not to do. It is step by step. Okay. We've taken all the difficult thought work. The science is there. How it works and why it works we'll be going through as we go through the journey. But you don't want to sit and listen to that for another hour. We're going to make sure you know what to do, and you're going to get our support. Okay. Our goal is to reset your metabolism. You can reset your weight set point, and then we can go from there. All right. So I'm glad you stayed tuned. Hey, listen, if you need help, if you're one of those people, whether it's, bad knees, bad ankles, it doesn't matter, your bad back, and you needed a solution where it meant you didn't have to go to the gym and do a bunch of exercise. There's other reasons. So that's what we designed this for, is people that are struggling with their weight. They're so overweight that they can't lose weight because they can't move. That's who this is designed for. So we're going to do is we're going to, if you want to. So again, I was saying body composition analysis, usually they're over $100. So normally $100, $300 for that body composition analysis. But because of the pandemic and things going on with, out there right now with the virus and things like that, we're trying to compress appointments, and there's only certain spots we have available. So we're doing the best we can with those scenarios. That's why we're going to give this special to you. So first 10 people, if you go to nextlevelweightloss.com, you can call 855-404-THIN, and you can schedule an appointment today. I encourage you to do it as soon as possible, because there will be, hey, Karen, Karan, Charlie, Pecatonica, good. I'm glad you're here. But hey, 10 spots available for this promotional event for you. What we're going to do is we're going to get your body composition analysis. So I'm going to give that to you, okay? You're going to get a weight loss consultation or a metabolism consultation. That's where we're going to sit down. We're going to review your body type, some of those goals we were just talking about, a plan specific to hit those goals, personalized support. But the customization comes in with us getting details of what's really hurting your metabolism, things like your thyroid issues and various things going on with your health perspective, even medications you might be prescribed. We're going to figure out exactly what you need to get help. But again, if you want to take one of those 10 spots, it's nextlevelweightloss.com. I showed you Mary, I showed you Tim. If you go to that web page, again, we have hundreds of these. We have real life testimonies. These are real people. So if you're wondering if this is just some virtual thing, I'm at my clinic. Just hit the red button. Sorry, guys. But you can always call 855-404-THIN. You'll probably have to leave a message. So with that message, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to leave a message. We'll call you back probably tomorrow. The staff is wrapping up tonight and they're going to go home. But they'll call you back probably tomorrow. Leave your name, the best number to reach you at. We'll get a hold of you shortly. And then we're going to get you a spot for you. Okay. So we're going to have that consultation. You're going to get that body composition analysis. So let's say after that, what does the program cost? Well, let me ask you this. What's the cost of having a heart attack? How much is it costing you for your insulin and diabetes? What does it cost for cancer or a stroke? I know these things because these things have affected my family. And you can't put a price on any of that. What's the cost of being in a nursing home? What's the cost of not having your self-esteem or your quality of life? What's the cost of not living or fulfilling your life? The cost of not being there for your spouse, your kids, and your family. What's the cost per pound lost in this program? That's the stuff that you're going to be asking yourself the question. We're going to go through our complete system with you, from top to bottom, before any decisions, financial decisions are made. Roughly speaking, I will tell you this: if you move forward with our program, you're looking at things anywhere from $97 per month or $397 or up to $900. There's many programs and many versions, but that's why we got to kind of figure out and dial in what's best for you. Okay, so we're going to walk through our complete system, show you exactly what's involved, how we can help you jumpstart your metabolism, ketobolism, reset it, and maintain it in an efficient, effective manner. And we're going to start by, here's your options. Go to nextlevelweightloss.com. Again, that's nextlevelweightloss.com, or call 855-404-THIN. You'll see the options there. So one thing about the virtual option is we don't have the technology that we physically would need to do in the office. So there's reasons to do it better clinically, that we get more hands-on support. That if we have to do various labs, that's all part of it. And then there's a way to do it virtually. So that's why there's also price differences. But at the end of the day, you're going to figure out what's best for you. I hope to see you soon. Again, you can go to nextlevelweightloss.com. Hopefully you appreciate the gift that we're giving you when you go there to that website, nextlevelweightloss.com, or call 855-404-THIN. Till then, I'll see you soon.